Hello, and welcome back. Hope you had a good break.
Oh, God.
So I know we kind of left off staring at Clarissa, staring at Claude, staring at Mariella, staring at... No.
The Aster would stare.
But we do see Clarissa kind of meld into the crowd, but we do sort of quickly pan from her. I'm going to go to Vivian and Tedric. As you come up and engage the Ralds, what is said, what is done? Talk to me, tell me.
Richard Rald. How are we doing this evening?
He turns, leaves, and he goes, doing quite fine, I suppose. And he puts a hand out. And his wife leans over and goes, Teacher, and just like whispers, and he goes, oh, Weirlight, yes. He suddenly gets like a more enthusiastic, and he goes to grip your arm.
I'll grip his, and I'll lean over like, it's okay. I get advice too.
He seems to immediately appreciate that. He's like, no, he nods. He goes, yeah, sorry about that. But yes, of course. I remember. I heard about what you did at the Battle of Ashford. That was
Yes.
like
Quite the yeah.
He nods.
Quite the battle.
Yep. He kind of looked around like, still. Well, you did. Like, you know, he looks like he's trying to say something, but he keeps like looking. Well, yes, and this is like Cassandra's like this is his the wife, Lady Vivienne. Her and I are already like acquainted with each other. He goes, yes, Lady Vivienne, you were on the shelter committee, yes?
I was, yes.
Yes, I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
He like looking at his wife. Yes, good. How are you enjoying King's Landing?
It is interesting to say the least. I see. We've had some events, to say the least.
Like, I see.
It's had its twos and fro's.
Yes, as King's Landing is wont to do, a place of great history, importance, legacy, or it was. And he kind of looks around. And Cassandra just like eyes him, but like goes back and looks at you, Vivian.
Mm-hmm.
I give Richard a look like, yeah, I know, I'm right there with you.
Bro bonding.
Mm-hmm.
Bronding.
Yeah. So what do you say, Tedric? What do you seem to have caught Richard's eye and attention?
Tell me, Richard, how does it fare back where you live?
Oh, yes, in Populous, like good, quite prosperous actually. We just had some new irrigation channeled in from a river. The project I've been trying to input for an embarrassing amount of time, but it seems it's finally going through, and there is more crops being grown, which we desperately needed. But it's good, fares very well. We didn't lose too much in the changeover. Would have been willing to lose a little more, but like that's how it goes sometimes.
Indeed.
Because I'm not sure if I need to make a roll for this or not, but were the rolls were they loyal to the Targaryens?
Yes.
Okay.
You had already rolled that.
Oh, okay.
Richard's ancestor, 3 separate Targaryens were married the Rolled line.
Okay.
The Rolds were one of the rare Mountains of the Moon houses that were. They didn't join Jon Arryn in the rebellion.
Gotcha. And that's why okay, now I'm starting to remember now because I couldn't find it in minutes. Sorry, go ahead.
No fake talk.
Yes, our crops have been doing very well this year as well.
Yes, you're down in the Reach. Yes.
Yes, we haven't had to worry too much about new irrigation lines, but we just did some upgrades to our keep, and those are finally finished with. It was tedious, to say the least.
He nods. I think understood.
I've heard your keep is rather large.
He smiles. It is. I mean, many of the houses. But yes, the palace is quite size. I mean, my ancestors did a lot of dark deeds in order to build such a place. But we use it as best we can.
Ancestors and dark deeds.
He goes,
Right there with you.
Oh, I see. Nods. Good to know. I think kind of nods. He goes, it's he just kind of starts talking about the castle. Like the way he talked about the irrigation, the way he just kind of sounds like a dad with a project. He's just talking about his new deck.
Gonna retile the bathroom.
Yeah. I, as Serena, I'm not sure because I don't study medieval etiquette. How could is there a way I could steer the conversation toward like Tidrican's like war accomplishments, how he became a knight, perhaps? Because I don't think I actually know that story. I know he squired under Selmy, but
Yeah.
I don't know how to organically do that with me talking because I know what I'm trying to reach for goal wise.
I've already established that we both get advice.
Mm-hmm.
You did.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess if you want, you realize, seeing as Tidric has sort of made that joke, you could whisper in Tidric's ear.
Okay, yeah, sure. That way I don't know how to do this because I cannot talk to men who don't double talk. But yeah, I'll lean over and whisper to Tidric, ask him about his accomplishments. He is a knight, after all.
So, how was it that you became a knight? I was very interested.
He goes,
Your accomplishments, and everything that you've done.
That is a story. My father was very against the idea. Not when I was younger, but of course he wasn't around. He unfortunately. Well, that is a long. That part is long and complicated. But essentially, I had to flee my home when I was younger, due to my father. But I ended up being taken in by what thought was a hedge knight at the time, but turned out to be Barristan Selmy, and he taught me things, and he made me his squire, and he taught me many things. He was a very strange teacher. but he's far more eccentric than I think people realize. But he was a good teacher, hard one. Many scars from him, but I learned a lot from him. And he helped me make me the man I am today, and gave me the strength to go back and, well, overthrow my father. To many people's rejoicing, to my relief. Not that I enjoyed it, but he was a dark man. And unfortunately, we had just been recovering from that. So when the rebellion happened, all we could do was remain neutral, which I regret fully. But basically, Selmy, he knighted me after I had killed some of my first men. You always remember your first.
As Tedric's eyes kind of go a little glazed and tilt away a little bit.
Yeah, you notice Richards does the same as.
Oh.
He goes.
Slight nodding.
Yeah, just Cassandra.
Yes, you do.
Cassandra's just kind of like next to you, Vivian, like looking at you, like.
So it's kind of weird how very similar these two men are for me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, out of character, I'm seeing the same thing.
Bring that
Dark ancestors.
Just
not so good father.
Mm-hmm. I'm just gonna like tap his shoulder, like not too much. Like I don't know how to like say bring that up, but not too much. Just sharing your similarities.
Yes, near the end, my father wasn't the best either.
Mm.
I was not the one who, I didn't have to do what you did.
Nods.
But after his reign ended, I have since been trying to better our lands because he sort of lacked the ambition near the end to take care of it.
I see. It's important to take care of your people and the lands that are our responsibility. It's why nobles exist, and nobles who don't do it shouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
I completely agree. So, Richard, what is one of your most recent accomplishments? War story. Give me something.
He smiles. Yeah. So, Tedric, I think we're going to enter into an intrigue now.
Yes.
All right. So, we're going to establish an intrigue between you and Rick. It sounds like your goal is friendship.
Yes. Also, I'd like to point out, I did spend a destiny point.
Oh, what did you buy?
Authoritative.
Ooh, that's a really good one.
Mm-hmm.
So if you guys don't know, what authoritative means is he can essentially ignore the negative to persuasion penalty. Doesn't like him.
Nice.
Well,
Yeah. So basically, so essentially just because, though you don't like him, Tedric has such an air of authority to hard to ignore what he says.
gotta put some respect on our name.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good move. All right, fantastic. So why don't let's establish our everything. Yeah, thank you so much, David. Our disposition. So we know our objective seems to be friendship. Yes?
Yes.
You want him to like you. I suppose it
I want
partly
everyone to
is-
like me.
I know, it's Cedric's thing. But, I know it's partly service, because your goal here is to get him to be your son's Night Father, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. So, but it seems like friendship is like to that from the way Tedric's going about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'd say that. Okay. So we know that's the goal. Good. So now, what is your disposition toward Sir Richard Rawle?
Give me 1 second. What page is that on?
Oh, absolutely. It's
139.
Thank you, David.
Well, it's different. It's different in a lot of different books. Like I know in one
I got-
PDF it's 143. Like,
Oh.
but yeah, the intrigue
I'm
start.
getting to it.
Yeah. The disposition page is on 140.
There
so
we go. Dispositions.
It's affectionate, friendly, amiable.
I would say
indifferent.
amiable.
Amiable. I think that's a good, safe.
Disposition.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Safe bet. Because
Yeah.
obviously I'm not indifferent. I'm not like, oh, I can just like come or go, whatever. His opinion doesn't matter.
Yeah. But yeah, it's
I want to be friends with this guy.
yeah. So you're amiable and yeah, absolutely. All right, cool. You are amiable, which means basically you have a +1 persuasion modifier, nothing to deception, and your disposition rating is 3. So that's like your armor in this conversation.
All right.
Fantastic.
I'm so proud of my brother. It's his first entry.
No,
Yeah,
sir.
I mean,
No.
Oh, you missed my
guys,
first one.
Oh, I did? Oh, okay.
yeah. And you guys
Well, the
also
first
took
one I'm
on the
present
Bervosi.
that's right. He did
Is
it.
it true? You're right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Thorsten, you are here. You're just like, but you've been quiet and dutiful as a maester has been.
Yeah.
All
I will
right.
jump in if I have to.
Absolutely.
Same for me. Can I? Okay, so.
Yeah. So we're going to we can roll initiative. So now you said, Vivian, you want to aid Tedric.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. What is your disposition towards Richard Rawle?
Oh God. I
Everything
would
okay?
say, yeah. I dropped my fan, and I wanted to make sure it didn't land in the mustard.
Yeah.
I would say amiable as well. I think if it were Cassandra, I'd be friendly, but with Richard, I think amiable is also
Amiable.
fit. Mhm.
Fantastic. Alrighty. So why don't we roll that initiative, which is of course status plus, in case you have any dots in reputation.
Do I still have to roll because I have
No, he will
eloquent?
be going first.
Okay.
Because he does not also have eloquent.
Mhm.
If you couldn't tell. All right, so why don't you give me that status roll, Tedric? 21. Okay,
Damn.
very nice. Okay, yeah. So it's going to be Vivian, Tedric, and then Richard. Even though he actually has dice and reputation, he did not roll. All right. So Vivienne, you are first up in the volley. Now, what you gonna do?
I will assist Tedric.
Ooh, okay. So you just need to make a challenging persuasion test, which is TN9.
Okay.
And then let's see.
Okay. Whew, here we go.
12.
Ooh.
Yep, easily done. All right, so Tedric, what is your persuasion rate?
5.
5. So I believe that's a +2. Yeah, round down.
Yeah.
As a modifier, all right. So you have a 2 on your next conflict result against Richard.
Okay, that would be will. No, persuasion. Yeah, here I found it.
Well, yeah, it depends on what your technique is.
Yeah.
So it says, how are you assisting Vivian? Are you whispering things to him? Are you just gripping him? What is the?
Oh, I'll whisper to him because I definitely saying things like, you already have a connection between your fathers. You could mention that you were never knighted because you took on the responsibilities of your house, and that kept you from proper knighthood duties. So that kind of.
Excellent. All right, cool. So you whisper that into his ear.
Mm-hmm.
So, Tedric, yeah. So, what do you? What action would you like to take on the action list? There's, assist, consider, fast talk, influence. Influence is like, if you don't remember, it's the attack of the intrigue.
Yeah.
It's how you break down, in this position, break down the walls of friendship.
I think I would like to charm him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so you're going with charm. That's your
Yeah.
technique. Fantastic. So that means you're going to be using charm in your influence role. So it sounds like you're going to influence him with
Yes.
charm. Fantastic. So your charm, does that look like you just corroborating in tales of responsibility, war, things like
He's
that?
like, I've heard so many great things about you,
Mm-hmm.
and I just want to hear a few of them, from the horse's mouth, as it were.
Ooh, okay. All right. Yeah, like I'm sure I've heard rumors. What's yours? Excellent. Yeah, so why don't you give me that persuasion charm test?
Pecha-pow!
So
Plus 2 is 9.
plus 2 is 9.
Mhm.
Let's see here. Oh, Richard.
Is he a simple man?
Please tell me he's worse at
No.
talking
he
than
is
me.
not.
Well, on the
Yeah.
outside, yes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that unfortunately his cunning rank is actually pretty good. So unfortunately, no, that doesn't quite reach him. He kind of goes, "Oh well, I'm not one to talk about myself." And yeah, so you can try and engage him with that. It doesn't take well. It's not like he's offended or anything, but it just seems to not get what you
The response you wanted.
yeah, the response you wanted. He will switch to combat. Heck yeah, no.
Talk of my combat!
No.
Friendship by combat?
Friendship by combat.
Mhm.
People beating the hell out of each other, then the two guys fight, and then, hey, after that, hey, look, they're friends.
Mhm.
Isn't
I
that how
slap
all
you with a
men make
fish.
friendships? Isn't that how all friendships are formed?
Mhm.
Gender irrelevant.
Gender relevant, exactly.
Mhm.
I wouldn't know on
So-
the other end because I haven't been on the other end.
The best friendships are formed, that's for sure.
Yep. So I know what he's gonna do. What is your passive deception?
Passive deception. Ooh. Let's get over to that. Not high. 8.
That makes sense. All right, he will roll.
A very honest, forthright man, our Tedric.
Mhm.
Interesting. Okay.
Uh-oh, he has hidden rolls.
Yep. Well, he does.
I'm already afraid.
Yep. I will say he has read you. Quite successfully. He just kind of nods after he stared at you. All right. Top of the round,
Favion.
Vivian.
Would changing my action disrupt the flow of conversation? Would it be seen as uncouth or whatnot?
What do you want to do?
Fast talk.
Okay. Yeah, you can fast talk
Mm-hmm.
and just be like, oh, but we've said so many things, rumors and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, bringing up that heard so many things. We recently took in my nephew. We were just wondering things like that, and just adding another young person to the plate that we already have. Just bringing
Absolutely.
the conversation.
Yeah. So you make a persuasion test against his
Mhm.
passive will result.
Which could be interesting because here we go. 19.
You do it. You
Cool.
just do it, but you do it.
Oh shit!
Man,
Love that.
yeah, Richard's an interesting guy.
Mhm.
I did mention he killed his own father, right?
Yes.
Yes, you did.
He's got a bit of strong will.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Gotta have some pretty good convictions to do that.
Yep.
Yeah, but you do it. So yeah, so he loses his cunning rank from the intrigue defense.
Mm-hmm.
That is his best part of that.
Okay.
God, yeah, because his cunning is high.
Might
All
have
right.
found my rhythm.
Yep. Cool. So he's just like, oh, yes. Oh, well, that's not nice. Like, and you've got him. Like, and you're ready for Teedrick to strike.
Straight
Right.
through.
Oh,
All right, Teedrick.
pull out my sword and shove it through his chest. Enjoy my combat. No. Metaphorical sword.
Metaphorical sword of friendship.
Yes, let's just get down to brass tacks.
Mm-hmm.
I had it and now it's gone. Yes, yes,
Cedric.
yes. Some of my war stories. Just recently, there was an attack upon the Dolvers while we were there. I helped defend them and took out the leader of the Iron Raiders platoon that attacked them.
Theobald Red Hands.
Yes, Theobald Red Hands. They
All right.
called me a lordling and I split him in twain.
That's a good story. All right. Let's see that charm roll.
Much better, come on.
No, it is not. Now, do you have any destiny you wish to use to re-roll?
I do have one.
It doesn't burn it.
Yeah,
I
you're not
know, I
burning
know.
it. You're just using it.
You're spending it.
Then it'll come back next session.
It will, yes.
All right, fine. Because I don't want to lose this guy.
All right, so you get to re-roll.
Yeah.
Hey. Yeah, boy.
And not only that, Teedrick has crit.
Mm.
Because
Get 'em.
I will just tell you,
Nice.
Richard Wald's intrigue defense is 13,
Oh fuck.
and his cunning is 5.
Oh shit.
Smart.
So that turned it down to 8, doubling his thing. Teedrick has crit. So your persuasion is 3. So that is 2, so that's 9. So that is a good amount, actually. Minus 3. So yeah, you have built a heavy. Richard is enamored. He's like Iron Man. He goes, Theobald Red Hands in twain. He's definitely heard of Theobald Red Hands.
I
Like-
think this is the first time I've spent a destiny point,
Mhm.
and it was such a great spend.
It was. He's enraptured in your tale, and in fact has dealt a really, really serious blow to him. I mean, actually, quite honestly, he's just like, well, that is, fantastic. And you said you were there with your Henrik.
Yes, Henrik was there, and he took out a few men himself.
I was like, well, you seem to have trained him well.
Yes, I am very proud of how he has turned out
Mm-hmm.
on the battlefield.
Cassandra goes, you have a second son, don't you?
That's coming
Yes.
in.
Garrick, I will say he may only be 12, but he is rivaling Henrik in size.
Oh my.
I feel that in the next few years he's going to surpass him.
He kind of nods. And Cassandra turns to you, Vivian, and goes, so what are your plans for him? Is he training to be a warrior as well?
We've been thinking about that for some time. Teacher and I have been discussing while Henrik followed after his father straight into battle. We've been wanting for Garrick to learn more, well, also have that, but also looking towards a knighthood. Tedric immediately went into caring for his lands and his people when his father took ill, that he was never knighted, and so we wanted to give that opportunity to our other son.
Goes, well, if I think Tedric, I will say, I am, I'm currently looking for a squire. How old's your boy?
He's 12, but he is quite a large one.
But well, that is the perfect age. If you want to discuss it, I think we could foster him if you would wish. I think it would be good to foster, forgive the joke, a relationship between our houses. I think it's good for people like us to remember, what's right in this kingdom.
I couldn't have put it better myself.
Excellent. So tell me, how tall are you? And then we do kind of pull away for that masterfully done intrigue.
Great job, Jesse!
I was a little worried because I'm like, listen, this guy's intrigue is pretty big, but coming in clutch with the fast talk.
That's what all the girls say.
So happy you had a destiny point to spend just in case.
Exactly.
Jesse's been pretty good at saving his. I've been the one spending everything.
Oh, I still have all of mine.
Yeah.
All right. It is at this point we will move across the party, seemingly perfectly blended in among the crowd, as if she's a part of 3 different conversations. Clarissa, what are you doing?
She has been doing pretty much exactly that. She's talking to people. She wants to get a pulse a little bit, while at the same time trying to stay inconspicuous and hiding the Weirlight badge a little bit, but also showing that she's, allowed to be here with her pompous attitude.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So you're kind of just plying the crowd. What kind of information are you looking?
I'm looking for information about the Weirlight house. Also, anything that I can hear about the Asterwoods is something that she would be listening for as well.
Interesting. Very well. Now, are you trying and apply this information yourself by talking, or are you just trying to listen in and search for this information that way?
I think she's talking to people.
She's talking, okay.
Yeah, as a second cover for her, besides just blending in, to be able to be like, oh, I'm having a conversation with somebody. We can't discuss anything that I've done right now.
Understand. All right, so I would say that maybe I would say you are kind of weaving your own narrative here. I think deception might be the way you go here.
All right. I would give you that roll.
Yeah. 11. Yeah, TN9. So, Clarissa, you begin to imply and ask. Now, you don't really hear much about the asteroid, but you do hear some people talking about the Weirlights. Hear someone goes, "Who is that?" It goes, "Oh, that's Adam Dennett." Oh, well, that explains it, doesn't it? And you just start hearing tittering of small folk murderers. Basically, they raided the Danets, and some's like, well, that's just how it goes. Feed on the smaller one. And the others are like, well, I thought the Reachmen were so insular. And he goes, well, of course, when you're part of an exclusive group, you're the harshest on your own, and things of that nature. You do hear one person is just like, are we sure the Weirlights did it? Are we sure the Danants aren't just trying to get attention? And then almost everyone goes, please, and just seems to believe that's naive. It's not like they could really prove, and even if they did, what does the Weirlights lose? What, some weird guild? Perhaps a plot of one of their massive fields? They have everything to gain and and very little to lose. It's a clear game. These kind of lesser lords are talking about things they don't fucking know anything about, as if they're masterful at it. But it does seem the general consensus among the nobility. It sounds like they believe the Weirlights are guilty, but a lot of them seem to not give a shit. It's not like, oh, they're horrible. You do hear some. Some are like, well, they play the game, don't you know? And it just doesn't really sound like the Danets are popular. And he goes, well, the small folk are outraged. He goes, will they? Oh, when are they not? And they were outraged when the Targaryens. They seem quite calm now, don't they? Just things like that. Yeah, go for it.
If I hear somebody having a lengthier conversation about the Danets, can I kind of step into that? And I want to try and ask about Iris. I want to see what people are talking about her. I want to see if he has said anything about her to everyone else besides just bringing her new betrothed. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, absolutely. You can kind of mean that. Why don't you give me a persuasion for you kind of guiding the conversation along?
Sure.
Yeah, success. It's pretty easy. It's TN6. So, yeah, you begin to kind of guide the conversation. Isn't there something about Iris? And they go, oh, I did hear something about that. She ran away, didn't she? Or is missing or won't come out of something? And he goes, no. She ran, I believe. She's missing, but apparently her brother's looking for her. He's asked half the gold cloaks in the city about her, apparently. Who's that man who's with him? Oh, that's her betrothed, Reuben Piper. Piper, I don't know that house. He's a merchant. Oh.
Well, in this conversation, I think she drops, especially during that specific part, during the merchant part, I think because they've already come to the conclusion, but I think she says it out loud. She's just kind of like, well, do you think they might be a little low on pocket change?
Yeah. Immediately, person latches onto it and is like, well, of course, the war ruined them. That's what I hear. Yeah, Robert, crunched over their lands. You heard what happened, right? All their lord. He was 7th in line. All of his brothers were murdered by Barack. He goes, it was a war. It's not murder. I think they were rising up in rebellion. Well, whatever you call it, they're dead. Didn't something happen to his wife? It goes, well, I wouldn't know if I would talk about something like that. and they seem to kind of like move away from that. But yeah, they do seem to think like the Danits are poor.
Okay. Yeah, I think eventually she kind of breaks out of that, kind of satisfied where it is at the moment, and she's gonna try and look for Nymora.
Absolutely. Nymora, please make an awareness test.
To see Clarissa?
No.
Okay. I was gonna say no. To see Clarissa? No.
No. Yeah, Namora, earlier you did ask about those girls.
Okay. I see.
It does seem like they are running off towards where Erin and her mother went.
Don't like bullies. Okay. I'm
Okay.
gonna keep an eye on the unfoldings of that.
Well, they seem to run down a hall away from the main hall.
Oh, shit. Okay. There's nothing I can do about it right now until they come back out here. So, okay. I'm just keep an eye on that hallway.
Okay, sounds good. And then Clarissa, you see Nymora just kind of like waiting behind a gaggle of girls.
Yeah, I'll kind of walk up and. Good evening, Nymora.
Oh,
First, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I apologize. Did I startle you?
you do the thing that you do every single time, which is that no one ever knows. You're like a shadow. You just move amongst the people. You're like a little, like a small adorable mouse.
Your words are very flattering. My day was incredibly eventful, and I would love to tell you about it. I don't know how things went back at the inn, but I have some interesting information for you.
I would love to hear it. You look beautiful, by the way.
Oh, thank you very much.
Very lovely dress.
I appreciate your gift. It has served me very well. And she kind of strokes the fur around her shoulders.
Got to keep up with those Northmen and their woolly pelts, yeah?
Oh, I saw that, yes. Coincidentally, it seems Claude and I are matching tonight, which is just great, I suppose.
Nymora, you're like Claude.
Yeah. A man's name.
She doesn't elaborate at all.
Okay.
When you're off guard duty, come seek me out. I should be easier to find. Yes.
I'm probably not going to be off duty for a while yet. Just kind of like look at Ashella and all of
They've
the
shifted into the crowd.
Oh, jeez. Can I see where Mariella is?
You see a bit of her head.
Yeah. Shit. I have to keep an eye on Mariella. She is surrounded by man-eating wolves and may require assistance.
Yes, there seems to be blood in the water. Please, go ahead. I look forward to speaking with you later.
I'll find you as soon as I can.
Perfect.
So you split off from one another. Clarissa, what do you do?
I think she spends the next little bit looking around. Now that I'm not hidden anymore, I'm going to try and I want to look for Claude. I want to look for Lars. I want to look for the man in white, which is fruitless now. But I'll look for him anyway.
You know it.
Please make an awareness test. If you want to try and justify any of your specialties, please try and do that.
Sure. I think notice fits personally.
I mean, it would. Yeah, I would say so.
Thank you. Let's make sure there are 2 ones.
Oh,
So I'm gonna bring
are
them
there?
I see that there are 2 ones.
No, wow.
Oh wow. All right.
Okay, so let's see what
Oh,
that
31.
that replaces that 3, so it's 26. Awesome.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Yeah. You see Claude. You do not see the man in white. You do not see Lars. But oh God, there's so many successes. You do hear something. You're near 2 Kingsguard with their flowing white cloaks. And one of them says, "Have you seen Simon?" It goes, No, he had something personal to do today. He's supposed to be here this evening. I'm like, strange. I'm like, what do you think he's doing? Last time I saw him, he was, with he was with a woman. He kind of like looks at a woman. Simon? And he goes, yes, she was short, strange looking, quite honestly. But they seem to be doing something. We better get here soon. Supposed to relieve me. If Lady Puffan gets any, talk to her about my cousin. And your family, and they just kind of go into their own thing.
Cool. Good. Yeah.
But yeah, you see your cousin Claude, and as you kind of listen to that, you then look to see him again, and he's walking with Mariella, arm in arm, and he seems to be talking to her, and Mariella looks smiling, relieved, comfortable, happy, perhaps even a little excited.
Yeah,
And
she kind of skulls and grabs a glass.
Yeah, as you grab the glass
server.
and look back, suddenly he looks over his shoulder and his eyes meet yours. And he just smiles and looks back. He smiles, barely acknowledges you, but just stares you in the eye and then goes back to talk. Looks like Mariel looks over her shoulder but doesn't know what he's looking at. And he just goes back to talking with her.
I think she follows him around for the rest of the night. Distance. But she'll clockwise him around the room.
Understandable.
Yeah.
As you are going around the room, kind of being unseen, staring at Claude, you suddenly hear a deep bass voice kind of rumble off to your left. It go, do you love a Northman?
Excuse me.
And you turn and look up, and you see a bear of a man. He's incredibly tall, high end of 6 foot. He has long braided black hair, and a long, thick black beard. The end, which is tied into a knot and has some looks like silver jewelry in it. He's wearing a kind of simple dark blue, honestly, shirt. And he has a sash made out of what must have been a quite large shadow cat. And he's got a ring on his finger. He's got a weather-beaten face. You barely can see most of his beard. And he's got what looks like a metal badge pierced through the shadow cat, and it looks almost like a winged a snake of some kind. But it could be a dragon, maybe, but you're not really sure. He goes, a Northman. He points to your shawl.
Hmm.
Do you love a Northman?
I do not. This was a gift from somebody who saved me from a Shadowcat attack. It was an eventful day.
I see. I think, so you survived an attack from a Shadowcat.
Barely have the scars, but
Like, what great warrior felled the Shadowcat?
her name is Naimora. She's a brilliant warrior.
Her name?
Her name.
Wait, he seems like he smiles, and kind of looks around. Goes, sorry for spooking you there. Don't really have much in common with these Southerners, and I saw your shawl and thought you might love a Northman. You're far too fair to be from the North, so.
Yes, rather from the Reach. May I ask? I don't believe I recognize you. My apologies.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me. My house is, well, we nigh live in the shadow, so we don't really come down here much. Sorry.
Quick,
That's
hit that Northman name generator.
This has been killing me.
No.
I'm just enamored with this fancy bear man.
Who's this man? Who's this Sean
yeah.
Connery bear man?
Fancy short northern Sean Connery.
Let's see here. My name is Garrig. Oh God, no. Here. Sorry, my freaking brain looking right at it. Yeah, my name is Garrig Shaderock.
Shaderock.
Aye, of House Shaderock. Lord, if that's important to you.
Only if you'd like me to address you as such.
Shrugs. Which is an event for a man of this size.
A multi-muscular event.
His voice is he's talking very low, but it literally almost vibrates, just the bass of it. He goes, so, am I, well, I should probably ask your name. Sorry, I'm not really one for niceties. My lady, you are.
I am a lady, but there is no need for you to apologize. It's refreshing, actually, not to have to worry about that for a time. I appreciate it. Clarissa. Asterwood.
Clarissa.
Yes.
I like that name. Mind if I use it at one point?
Use it?
If I ever have another daughter.
Oh,
It's
you
a
have
good
children.
name. I do.
Please. Of course, use it.
I like nods. None of them are here, mind you. But I had to be old. Debt. So here I am, alone. But Clarissa, you wouldn't. I'm guessing you're not a fan of shadow cats, then.
A fan? No. Probably not. Don't think I'd ever want to meet one again.
Well, they're dangerous. It's for just a tad bit of information if you ever want. gossip about the wild Northman. I breed shadow cats.
Oh. That's fascinating.
Mm-hmm. This one's the mother of my Pat's the shawl he's wearing. Yeah. Like, yeah.
And
Shit.
this is how you repay your debt.
Oh no, no. I'm.
You cut out?
Oh, sorry. He goes, no. My liege lord asked me to come, in his
Ooh.
place as apology for unable to come here. But you know, even though it's this far south, hard to say no to a Stark. So
A social debt, then?
she kind of nods, like, you know, I don't know if you know the Starks.
No, of.
Like, but Eddard, he helped me out when I was younger, and well, so I'm here in his place essentially. Already went and talked to the king, and he just kind of like looks over, and you turn, and King Robert is here. He is currently talking to some people very enthusiastically, laughing very loudly.
Oh.
Mm,
And how did that go over for you?
not well.
I'm so sorry.
Shrugs. Basically, he just cursed out Eddard for a little while, then told me to grab a woman and get drunk. Plan on doing one of those, and he just like leads up like looks like a drinking horn that I probably brought himself, and just drinks a large gulp of it, wipes. Sorry if that
not
was
the lady then.
like,
Not the
no,
lady then. That's not your plan.
no. I no.
Understandable.
Yeah. Well, I had a wife.
Oh dear.
Shrugs.
How many
Snows are
children
harsh.
do you have? How many children do you have, Lord Shaderock?
3. I have a bastard and what are they called? Legitimate, like children. 2 girls and a boy. And my eldest is my bastard. She is a lot like her mother. Willful. I have to fight her to eat inside sometimes. Yeah.
Just happens to be that I know Bastard quite a bit like that, actually.
Always is that your lady friend there, and he points at the shawl. I'm terrible with names.
It's all right, Nymora. Yes.
Oh, that sounds very Dornish.
You make a correct assumption.
Lady Dornish fighter.
She's a conundrum.
I'm gonna pretend I know what that word means, but that's her, and then I've got my eldest legitimate, which is my girl. She's Well, I think she'd do well down here. And she just kind of looks at, she likes fancy dresses and talking to girls and people. And that business. Definitely proud of her. But she wanted to go. But I can't do what I'm supposed to do down here and keep an eye on her. So then there's my youngest, my son. He's nearly a man grown. He kind of stares at you suddenly, and I'm just is this what's done down here? Do you just talk about things?
Well, pretty much, yes. She kind of shrugs the shawl off to kind of display her badge, and she's like, talking is kind of my professional business.
He looks at the badge as if it means
I love it.
He's just like, all right. Profession.
I will do it.
Oh, no wonder I like you. Wow, that was not bad. It's probably bad. I'm not really here to make friends. No, but my son's smart, very smart, and you have any children?
I don't.
He talks a lot, and he's very angry all the time. And I keep trying to get him to channel the anger, hunt, kill, wrestle with a wildcat, do something, find a girl. But he doesn't want to do any of those things. He wants to make pamphlets. I don't really know what that is, but he has to remember that Mo can't read.
No. They sound like they would do really very well down here.
I think so. You're like, I think. Well, thanks for conversing with me. I'm sure you've got business and all that. Just saw your cloak and, well.
Perhaps I could tell you the full story sometime.
I do like a good story. Not much else to do when you're sitting in a home frozen in from snow.
This one is very good. So come seek me out whenever we bore you up here.
Well, I can't say I've bored a day in my life. And that definitely hasn't stopped now. Kind of like turns around. And he suddenly just starts staring in a direction.
Can I see what he's looking at?
Make a awareness test.
All right.
It's Nymora. She's flexing.
24.
It's probably no.
He's staring at Silas Frostmore.
Oh, that asshole.
And Silas kind of turns and they seem to lock eyes with him. And you literally see Silas go. And just fully turn. And
Force, then?
he goes, And he just turns to look at you.
You know the Frostmoors, then?
I do.
I won't pry any farther than that, I promise.
It's all right. No, that's Silas. He's a bit. There's a bit of bad blood between us.
Bad blood?
Mm.
What from?
Well, long story short, I killed his son. Well, at least I claim responsibility.
But did you actually kill him?
His son, who was well, you see, his son had fostered with the, and they're a strange, cruel folk, and he learned something from them. Anyway, there was a tournament, and he tortured one of my cats. I demanded justice. He accepted. His father took over. We dueled. Matter was resolved, but then he died. The son. His throat got slit. I didn't do it, but I had an idea who did. So I took responsibility.
Noble of you.
Well, it saddens. Where I'm from, it's just called decency.
We don't really do that here.
I've noticed. And he just starts like staring at yeah. Well, I'm sure you've got someone important to talk or dance to, so I'll let you go. Make sure I don't yeah. Good thing you're so short. Well, I don't think Silas saw you talking to me.
Well,
he's
I
not a
think
bad
you-
man, Silas.
Hmm?
He's not bad, Silas. He's just loved his son. Son was a cruel, insane little fuck. But it was his son. Anyway, night.
Enjoy your cup, sir.
I'm like, I don't like. I'm gonna try. And he just wades off.
Very cool.
Indeed. It is at the end of this Claude, but at this point, chimes and bells are beginning to be rung. People are beginning to move. And the dinner is called. It is time for the feast. Everyone begins to take their seats at their appropriate places. So the family, of course, sits together across from one another. And it's you seven are essentially reunited. Claude, of course, sits down next to you all. He briefly greets Tedric and Vivian. Like, good to see you. It's wonderful to see you, cousin.
Like a neutral face of disapproval.
just just
Bailey, please.
I feel
I'm trying to tell whether or not she's frozen.
I think she's frozen.
I didn't know, but it's frozen so perfectly.
There we go.
You're frozen.
You were frozen in the most like, I will kill you in your sleep look.
It lasted
Oh my
so
god.
long. It was so perfect.
It's yeah,
Oh.
it's definitely freezing on and off for you.
Yeah,
which is
Right.
really good.
That's beautiful.
Mhm.
Oh my god.
Okay. Yeah, so he just nods. Yeah, everyone's kind of sat down and the food is brought out. And well, let me get into
Give
it.
me-
This
There we
is-
go. We've been waiting all week for this, guys.
this is a Game of Thrones, is it not?
Speak food
So-
to me.
You have like placed before you with loaves of crusty, fresh bread, accompanied by large crocks of butter and wheels of pale yellow cheese. The crunch and rip from the bread is just like heavenly. There's hearty of leeks and other root vegetables that permeate the air as it's placed down, and lids are removed from pots, and it hits you all in the face. You see a salad of field greens, dried fruits, and shaved cheese, dressed with vinegar and oil quite liberally, placed among the table. Quail eggs, poached, in a sauce of cream and dill. Like hot, flaky pies filled with pigeon and eel in gravy. Eel pie is top notch in King's Landing.
It is delicious.
It is. Now, like large slabs of beef in a crust of garlic and herbs, accompanied by roasted vegetables heaped around it in platters. Like miniature fruit tarts, iced lemon cakes, and honeyed fruit ices, delicately like laid on like sort of layered trays that are being placed among the table, and of course an abundance of ale and wine, including different wines for each course of the meal.
Fancy.
This is truly a royal feast. There's much mirth and talking and laughing. Many people are engaging, and of course, eating. Henrik, you've eaten barely anything today.
Yeah.
How hungry are you?
I am so hungry. I'm almost. Henrik doesn't know what starving means. He's never been starving,
Mhm.
but as close to it as you can imagine, he would be.
Mhm. Yep. What you eating?
I'm gonna
Yes.
start with what I think Henrik's favorite is, like some meat pies, or like gotta try some of those eel pies. We're in the
Oh, yeah.
capital.
In King's Landing, get them meal pie.
Now I
And
actually
yeah,
want to try
they're-
eel pie.
they're literally,
too.
it's literally heaven.
Eel is
You've
so
never
good.
tasted gravy this good. And the eel tastes as if it was literally like killed an hour ago. It's delicious. Yeah, everyone else, you eating strong?
Sure.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then, by the way, Naimora, you are sat at the.
I am. I'm
You
not
are.
at the Thanksgiving children's table.
You are not. You're at the table
You're
near
with
You
the.
moved
us.
up. You aged up. Hooray! The kids.
Graduated.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Now that everybody is like sat down and is like in one and is not like moving around,
Mhm.
can I see House Santigar?
Make an awareness check.
That's literally almost as good as it can get for me.
Yeah, you do. You let's see here. Oh, there you are. Ooh, almost missed. Here we are. So you do see Sir Simon Santagar sat at a table to the far right. It looks like he is conversing with the Castellan of the Red Keep, Aaron Santagar, Simon's brother, of who is, of course, we know.
Yeah.
And you do see sat with him a young woman, a young girl, currently in her, around Garrick's age.
Mhm.
13, and you recognize Silva.
I think that Nymora is just like,
And she has an abundance of freckles.
yeah, covered in them.
Yep.
And I think that Nymora is like starting to like put like food on her plate and then like stops and is just like looking across the room with just like absolute naked longing on her face.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Both Mariella and Clarissa definitely.
Would there be any way to generally spot where she's looking?
You could make an awareness test.
Lovely.
Not gonna hobby.
Nymora, your deception's 2, right?
My what?
Deception.
Yeah, and I don't have any deception. I'm not. If there wouldn't be any trying, I don't think that she would try to.
I know. But there's
yeah, but
All right, so awareness.
of the mechanics.
there's precedence to be had.
An 11.
There's
So I'm
rules to
accurate.
be.
Yes, that beats an 8. Yeah, she's staring at like the Dornish part of the table.
Okay.
You see, there's a kind of older looking, like fit man with a bit of gray in his hair and beard. A young 13-year-old girl sat next to him, and it looks like she's talking to man you know, which is Aaron Santagar, who's the Castellan of the Red Keep. Part
Okay.
of Robert's court. And it looks like they're just talking.
And there's no, like, other than Aaron Santagar, there's no sigil or anything or marking on him?
Well, he does have a spotted leopard, his coat.
Okay. Would I be able to do a breeding or anything?
Yes, you would.
Okay. Status breeding.
Oh, yeah. Yep, House Santagar.
Okay.
Like, loyal to House Martel.
I don't think I really bring it up,
Mhm.
but kind of keep it to myself.
Absolutely. Yeah, so that is all happening. Like, everyone's enjoying food, conversation.
Yeah,
Wow.
I think the only thing I would really want to do during this is maybe if I'm sitting near Clarissa, is to ask, it's like possibly towards the end of the dinner, if I could just have like a brief moment of her time before she goes and do whatever my mother or father has requested of her. just a little tiny moments.
All right. Absolutely. So during the meal,
We're all poisoned.
yep, absolutely.
Everybody.
You see, King Robert is obviously a very generous host, and clearly a man who enjoys food. And seems to expect his guests to do the same. And the amount of ale and wine that is constantly being brought to the table seems to be like he really wants people
Really
to
enjoys
drink.
drink too.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, and that's everyone.
no.
It's got constant ale and like if you've drunk it like 3 sips, they're like, "Hey, well,
Just tip you off.
all right.
Oh
You taking
no.
some more?
Oh no.
Mhm.
I don't like this.
Everyone good and liquored up while the tensions rise. Yep.
Yep,
Yeah, that's
Mm-hmm.
yep,
I'm not done drinking.
yep. So you guys are kind of at like the reach table a little bit, and you know you're near the Ashford, and you guys
like
do
Hogwarts houses. table.
Yeah, a little bit. And you do see on the other side, you do see the Tarleys. And you do see this strange little round boy. Who's
The
nigh-
Parisian carrots.
a nigh perfect sphere. And he's just he has 5 pies on one plate, and then a lot of slabs of meat on the other, and he's just telling. He's this little 7-year-old boy, and he's just telling everyone how these pies are made.
I love this boy.
Cute.
Oh,
Are people like walking around talking while they eat dinner, or is it more?
A few people. Most people are staying seated and just eating and talking. Most of the servants go about. You do see a few get up and go and lean over and talk and do that. Like, that's always appropriate.
Yeah. Is Claude's anywhere near us?
Oh yeah, very much so.
Okay.
I
yeah.
imagine so because he probably brought me
You
to
can
the table.
lean over the table and be like, "Hello, Claude."
Yeah, I would for sure like to.
No, Lady Vivian, you don't cut your own food.
I don't.
No, I didn't say it was. I was
A servant is cutting your food for you.
Of course. I like my quail. I like my quail eggs quartered, so I can daintily eat them with a fork.
Beautiful, yeah.
You gesture and they cut it and move it forward. Yep. Exactly. So you gesture to Claude, Wisdom?
Yes, I'd like to have a conversation with him.
Sure.
I was like, is his proper title still Lord Asterwood?
It would be, yes.
Okay.
As heir to his uncle's house, he is Lord Asterwood.
Okay. Have we talked before? Like, are we in a dialogue where I can call him Claude? Like, I don't know.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, no,
Okay.
you guys have talked a bunch.
Mm-hmm.
I called him Claude. Yes,
Mhm.
Yeah.
I call him
Oh,
Claude.
understood.
Yeah,
Okay.
you are familiar enough with Claude to call
I
him.
gotcha. Claude, it is so good to see you. I thought I'd never get a chance to see you in the school festivities.
I am glad to see you. I'm glad you everyone down here to King's Landing. Now they get to really stretch things out.
Mhm.
Now, I hope you've been doing well here.
As well as I'm able.
Listen, and he just immediately goes, "If there's anything you need my help with, you know I'm at your service, my lady."
I know. You have never let me down anytime I've asked for your help. But now that you've brought that up, how are things at Highgarden?
Things. I mean, grand. It is a high time. New generations are coming.
Mm-hmm.
Old are moving up in a higher position.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, Lady Vivian, my position has never been stronger at Highgarden.
So I've been hearing you are on the lips of almost every Reachman these days.
Well, I try.
You're quite skilled at it.
We need to represent the Redlands as best we can.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, recently, I know we're not supposed to talk about it, but you see, Mace had a problem, and he sought my counsel, and I suggested that, the Weirlights were the ones to solve it. And then, but lo, I hear tell of my great lord Tedric slaying.
Without, I mean.
Sorry, you're cut out.
Oh no, did I?
Mm-hmm.
Where did I?
Great
What
Lord
I cut out?
Tedric.
Yeah.
Killed Lord Theobald Redhands.
That he did. Seems that the Iron Men are getting quite bold once again.
Oh, I boldness is always among them, as is.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems he rewarded you quite well.
He did.
Not that you did anything for him. He kind of winks at you.
Mm-hmm. Well, such rewards can always find more acclamations to those who show initiative.
He smiles. He goes, "Well, at your service, my
Mm-hmm.
bows."
Right.
Pops a
I-
poached egg into his mouth.
Mm-hmm. So,
The heat.
so what is the? You have your ear in almost every conversation among High Garden. I saw when Lord Tyrell came to us, he brought with him Garland, and he and Mariella got into, after she showed him the tour of our new renovations, she seemed quite smitten.
Yeah, he immediately looks over at Mariella. Like, well, she's continued to prove to grow into a woman just as capable and beautiful as her mother. So it surprises me little.
Well, I do think that though she needs to be around more girls like her. I think I've taught her all that I could, and from what she can gain at home.
Oh, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there are quite many girls of her age at High Garden,
Mm-hmm.
and I hear tell they're looking to replace the current maiden for Lady Marjorie, Mace's youngest.
That so.
I could bring Mariella's name up. I think, and you continue to keep like House Asteward and myself in your favor.
Of course.
Like smiles.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, I'm happy to do a favor for my lady and my lord.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure Mariella, I think she could do great thing there.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, and I assure you that should she happen to make her way to High Garden,
Mm-hmm.
forward and says, I would do everything in my power to help guide her there.
Mm-hmm. I say this as being in charge of a lot of her tutoring. She could also be of help to you. The girl is very clever.
Oh, of that I am sure of.
Mm.
My lady, we are of one mind.
Excellent.
I think he smiles and
Mm-hmm.
is back. By the way, Garland is a good choice. The boy is, well, he is the model Reachman.
That is what I hear, but we'll see if there are more interactions between the two.
Like, and he kind of like pops a poached egg
Mhm.
into his mouth.
Mm-hmm. I stabbed my quarter of a quail egg.
He's stealing her quail eggs. Is that what I'm hearing?
I mean, maybe he did. All right. So again, everyone's having a go feast. Everyone's talking. So during the meal, various entertainers perform for the royal family. Minstrels play, kind of, before they kind of played before during the initial course of the meal, and they kind of come to the foreground. There's kind of space in between all the tables where they've come to perform. You do see Tom Greengrass does a performance, and he sings a song none of you have heard. It is a song called "Words of Steel, Hair of Fire." Indeed.
Minstrels. Brilliant.
It goes over well.
Mm-hmm.
It goes over fairly well. And then after the minstrels, jugglers, dancers, jesters, the jugglers toss batons, knives, even flaming torches from hand to hand, while the jesters caper, tumble, and tell raucous jokes to the marring laughter of the guest. People. He seems like the jester target, making quips on their on their behalf. Everyone jokes. Everyone knows that if the jester makes fun of you, it's bad form to get mad, because technically speaking, the jester has the right to say whatever the fuck he wants. That's like
His only job.
Well, it's kind of an interesting position. The jester actually has a place in court and has certain rights. You're not supposed to kill the jester, which is why, the scene in Game of Thrones when Joffrey did that to his own jester, a lot of people immediately went, okay, because you're not really supposed to. He sort of makes, quips, barbs, I think japes and jives at several people. And, people are laughing. They're good jokes. In these worlds, you don't hear comedy a lot, so people are laughing. And so as people are talking and moving around, everyone's kind of playing out their intrigues. Thorsten,
Yes.
It's your turn, sir.
can you make an awareness test for me? Well, hold on. What is your passive awareness?
Passive awareness is 12.
That's pretty good. Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, you do spy Adam Dannett. And you notice he's not really eating. He's just like kind of staring forward and kind of like shaking a bit. He's got some food on him, and some people kind of talk to him, and he just like kind of shakes his head a bunch. Yeah. He's got food on his plate, but he's not really eating or drinking, really.
Is he just like, does he look like he's staring off into space, or is he staring at someone?
You don't think he's staring at anyone. You think he's just staring.
Just in his head.
In his head, yeah.
Give me a second. I'm going to keep an eye on him as I'm...
Sure.
Just want to make sure he's not planning on doing anything. Just...
Okay.
I
Yeah.
don't want to have my doubt, but...
Yeah, just kind of staring at him.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Yeah, you definitely do notice, like, he doesn't eat or drink, like, anything. He's just, like, occasionally maybe he'll, like, poke at something, but he's just not.
He's trying to give the illusion of eating and all that.
Kind of, yeah. It's like politeness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. A lot of the talking. I will say, Mariella and Knight, you did see at the beginning of the feat those 4 girls come back with Aranette.
Okay.
And they seem to have been comforting her. And like talking to her, and they ask her to sit with them.
Oh no.
They're kind of all talking. And you, Mariella, this is definitely.
You're
cut
not
out.
happy.
Passive awareness easily picks this up. Your
Yeah.
you notice them doing that, one of them kind of goes over, says something to Ashella. Ashella nods, looks at it. She then kind of looks at you, and then Henrik, and then you again, and she kind of gives you a look and a conspiracy, as if you two are about to be in on something.
Oh no.
And
no.
I look at like my parents, and it's like one of those like looks of like I can't get away.
yeah, and
I don't have a very high passive awareness.
Yeah,
I
no,
don't. I don't either.
like
doubt I'd
she
be
doesn't
saying this as
necessarily
well.
know what the fuck is going on over on our side. It's like there are enough people in between us, and it's like I
Mhm.
can't get away.
no, you can't.
No, I
Oh.
can't.
We don't know anything. Oh no.
I've
This
got
is
the awareness as well.
And it does look like she might be about to do something.
Oh god.
And it is at this point in the feast.
Oh boy.
Uh,
A lot of bad things happening.
like where the feast is beginning to sort of come to an end. It's been a couple hours of eating, and desserts is beginning to be passed around, kind of more of a heartier one. And it seems like as you've been keeping an eye on him, Thorsten, Adam Dannett's kind of stillness has become to vibrate.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it looks like he might be about to do something. And it is at this point we will end the game.
Whoa.
Dash 'em.
So thank you so much for coming to join us. I hope you guys have a good time. I know not everyone got to do a lot of talking. There's a lot going on at the welcome feast. But we will see how the welcome feast concludes next time. So everyone, hope you guys had fun, my players. Hope you had a good time.
Very much so.
And I hope y'all are ready for what's about to happen.
Oh god.
So thanks for watching us. Thanks for coming down. Thank you for watching the stream. We really love doing this. And we will see you guys next time. All right. Goodbye.
Night.
Bye.
Good night.
Goodbye.